Sup YouTube, it's Slide8Fry here, and again I forgot about the damn hotkeys, but I can fix that real quick, no problem. They always want me to change them every time I open the program. Anyways, um, on a premiere earlier today from my pal the Retro Critic. This was premiered this morning at 9:30 a.m. I actually, in the chat had mentioned I would record a react. I may upload a react to Scott the Woz, a long-awaited one, but I saw that someone else just uploaded a video today. I'll get to that Scott the Woz one on a later date, but I will do it. I'm going to react to Nostalgia Critic. Now, Birds of Prey is one of the few DCEU films I haven't seen. In fact, I'm going to name off the ones that I have seen. So I have seen Man of Steel, and actually, fortunately, my wife's a big fan of Man of Steel. We both watched it together on YouTube Movies. I've watched Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. In fact, me, my friend John, and Nick, we made a you know it's bullshit video talking about how awful Rotten Tomatoes is for how low the ratings are on Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I've seen the 2016 Suicide Squad, which is the first DCEU film that I wasn't that into. I thought that one wasn't as good. I've seen Wonder Woman, which is an amazing film. I saw Justice League, which I saw in theaters. I actually thought Justice League was pretty good. Someday I'll probably watch the Snyder cut, which is even better, but it's 4 hours long, and you have to be on HBO Max to do it. Ugh. I'm already paying for Hulu. I'm already paying for the Disney Plus bundle that has ads-free Hulu on it, and I'm paying for Netflix, and I'm paying for Amazon Prime primarily so that my wife can get faster shipping, but also we watch stuff on there. We're going to watch Hotel Transylvania 4 on there when it comes out on January 14th, but you know, how many streaming sites do there have to be? Really? HBO Max? God damn it. And then now there's Paramount Plus. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. What were the other DCU films I had seen? So I haven't seen Birds of Prey. Of course, a lot of other people haven't seen it. That did not do too well in the box office. I saw Shazam. That movie was awesome. I saw Aquaman. I remember really enjoying it, but for whatever reason, I don't remember that much about it. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe it wasn't as memorable for me, but I do recall actually liking the film. And let's see. I also watched. Was it Wonder Woman 1984? I watched that. Flawed as it may be, I enjoyed the film. And I haven't seen the most recent one. There was a more recent DC. Oh yeah, the Suicide Squad, the better one that came out last year. I haven't seen that, but I hope to. I heard it was much better than the 2016 one. And I think there was another film, but anyways, that's naming them off. It's a lot quicker to name those off than the MCU movies because there's way more of those because that started way earlier. Anyways, let's finally get to this. I'm going to watch the Nostalgia Critic review Birds of Prey. I am excited about this. I look forward to this. Been taking a little too long to get started with this, but I assure you, if you've been waiting really long for me to do a react video to the Scott the Woz, The Gifts of Gaming, it's coming. It's coming. I'll upload it. I'll record it and I'll upload it. Look, I have the video right there. I'll be ready to react to it as soon as I have a little more time. It's a longer video, so I gotta set more time aside to react to it. And because it came out on Christmas Eve, I didn't have time to watch it when it came out. Just been really busy with work, but there's more financial stability now, so I'll have a little more time to do these things. Plus,
this episode brought to you by Stamps.com. Why go to the store to get stamps when you can have them printed right at home for your convenience?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, behold the outcast, the creepy and depraved, the bizarre creations not meant for the normal world. Embrace the twisted weirdness of freak show cinema.
Sure, why not?
Margot Robbie has had the best and worst luck playing the iconic character Harley Quinn. I argue there's far
Good
more
actress.
pros than cons, especially when you consider in DC's lineup, actors have been switched out to play famous characters, and she stayed the same the whole time. I think that shows how much people are now cementing her with the character. But there certainly are some cons. For example, Suicide Squad was a huge hit at the box office, but both critics and audiences seem to hate it. Its follow-up, The Suicide Squad, I guess "the" is code for "sorry, we'll try again," was a hit with critics and audiences, but nobody went to see it.
Probably had more to do with the pandemic than anything, although there have been some films during the pandemic that have succeeded. As far as I know, Godzilla versus Kong made a profit despite it coming out during the pandemic. But of course, I mean, what do you expect? It's Godzilla versus Kong. I think people have been waiting for many decades for that.
And then you have this little movie, which critics kinda liked and audiences kinda liked, but once again, nobody saw it.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but it's hard not to see why. Nobody really knew what this movie was supposed to be. This is just at the point where DC was getting more experimental with their movies, and in some respects, this tried the most different things.
Oh, yeah, and as for the movie The Joker, my wife and I saw it in theaters. This was before the pandemic, and we've seen it, I think, one more time at home, maybe two more times, I forget. But that's not a DCEU film. It's not part of the DC Extended Universe at all. It's its own universe.
Say what you will about Suicide Squad, but it knew how to advertise itself. A bunch of villains forced to do good things, but doing it in their own bad way. It made no sense in the context of the film, but from an advertising standpoint, that sounds like a lot of fun. This is a Birds of Prey movie, we think? With Harley Quinn, we think, even though she's in most of the advertising and the majority of the film? She's being bad, maybe, and the Birds of Prey are being good, perhaps? Are they even heroes? I think I saw a shitty show about them once, and I remember them being heroes. It's a superhero movie, but about a supervillain who doesn't do supervillain stuff. It's more of a heist comedy, except when we focus on superheroes who sometimes do superhero stuff. Yeah, the advertising for this movie was pretty poorly handled. How poorly handled was it? Honestly, I'm still not sure what the title is. Originally, it was Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Then they panicked at people's confusion and retitled it Harley Quinn Birds of Prey, which in some ways makes less sense. Is she supposed to be one of the Birds of Prey? Then they changed it back to the original title because the film bombed and fuck it, who cares anymore? So it's no wonder this film had such a tough time finding
Ewan
an
McGregor's
audience.
in this, that's cool.
Truth be told, I was one of those critics who didn't know exactly what to think about it. I guess it was okay at the time, though there clearly were a ton of problems with it. Part of that, though, was I wasn't clear what to accept it as. A Birds of Prey movie, a Harley Quinn movie, a DCEU movie, a standalone movie. But I will admit, going back to watch it again, knowing now what I didn't know then, I did have a lot of fun.
Okay.
Some of the weaknesses of the film I now see as strengths when you accept this as a scatterbrain movie that sometimes hits bullseye, sometimes completely misses the board, but the darts are always thrown in an inventively bizarre way. This movie is like a Cheez-It cake. Some things work about it, some things don't, but you're still happy someone was crazy enough to make it. Truth be told, when you hear what the plot of the movie is, you do understand more why the advertising was so difficult. It focuses, for the most part, on Harley Quinn being tossed out by the Joker. Yes, I do like the emancipation. It's not exactly by her choice. Regardless, she declares herself her own woman, not needing Mr. J anymore, which means all the gangsters who hate the shit out of her, which is understandably many, see it as open season on this pain in the ass. Without the Joker's protection, suddenly everyone with a weapon is out for her. This alone is pretty funny. Not only does it show how much she pissed them off, as the first thing every mobster wants to do is kill her like they put everything else on hold, but it also shows how brain dead she is about how many friends she truly has. Seeing her scramble and remember all the dirtbag things she's done to a lot of these people and realize the only reason they were nice to her was because of the Joker makes for some great comedy.
Wow.
That's only part of the story, though. There's a big search for a MacGuffin diamond. Yeah, this is also a little Pink Panther meets Snatch that holds a gateway to unspeakable wealth. It keeps getting tossed around, though, between Officer Renee Montoya, played by Rosie Perez, the
That's
Huntress,
her name,
played
yeah.
by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and
Rosie
Black Canary,
Perez.
played by Journey Smollett. Wait, as a Chicagoan, that name rings a bell. Oh, of course, Full House. And when I say it keeps getting tossed around, I really mean she keeps getting tossed around. For a little pickpocket named Cassandra Cain, played by Ella J. Bosco. Wait a minute, that name also rings a bell. That episode of Veep, of course! Steals the diamond and swallows it once she gets caught. They're all being hunted down by a mob boss named Black Mask, who does sometimes wear a black mask. He has a little like Lex Luthor being bald in Superman 1. There must have been some behind-the-scenes stuff we didn't know about. And if this all sounds confusing, it's sometimes intentional.
Okay.
Upon first viewing, it can get pretty frustrating, but when you watch it again knowing where it's all gonna go, it does grow a little bit of a charm for just how random it is. It's hard
Okay.
to explain, but there's something enjoyably frustrating about it. Though it does make the film choppy, there is something refreshing not always remembering what happens in what order. It's not a film where I shout, oh my god, this is so forgettable, I don't even remember this scene. It's more, oh, that happened here? I thought it was later in the film. As someone who sees a lot of movies, there is something nice about having that spontaneity, yet I still remember what happens in each scene. And it does match Quinn's personality as the narrator.
That's
But like
pretty
I
funny.
said, it doesn't always work. Black Canary's powers don't really come into play until the last third, and I'm not sure I followed why. At the end, when they try to show the birds of prey together, I wasn't really excited to see more of them because the main focus was still Harley. There wasn't
Okay.
quite enough focus on them to convince me they deserve a solo movie. Which with these titles, that's clearly not what this was.
Yeah,
And then
that's
there's
true.
this weirdness.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend.
I get the feeling this made more sense in the head of the writer or the director.
Probably.
Like, maybe this was supposed to be the pink elephants or dude dream sequence that's just odd for the sake of being odd. But it never quite fit naturally into the movie. In fact, it feels really trimmed down, and this did not look like a cheap scene to shoot.
No, it
It's
did
just
not.
there, and then it's gone. But then there's scenes I didn't laugh that much the first time, but seeing it again, they kind of crack me up for how random they are. In the first third, Harley is obsessed with having this egg sandwich. When
Okay.
people are shooting at her, her big concern is getting a bite of this thing.
That's awesome. That
The
is
first time I saw
awesome.
this, I didn't think it was funny enough to dedicate so much attention to, but combined with every other strange tidbit, it does bizarrely work. She
bet.
literally has no friends, and the world is trying to kill her, so her closest companion is her breakfast. It's pretty hilarious that this is the only friend she's got. But wait a minute, this is Freak Show Cinema. Is this really as twisted and weird as it gets?
My goodness, I really missed out. I would have had a blast watching this. I could already tell. She's getting all sad over a breakfast sandwich. That's fucking awesome. I love the just random ridiculousness of it. I think I would have loved this film. I should have watched it when it was in theaters back in. I think it was in theaters at like in early 2020, just a little bit before the pandemic. That's when it was. I think like in February or something. I don't remember.
I'll be back after this commercial. Behold
Alright.
the king of stamps.
Guess I'll watch.
Go on, behold. I bring you stamps from stamps.com. If you're a small business owner, you're busy enough as it is. You don't have time to deal with the hassle of going to the post office.
Yeah.
At Stamps.com, you can skip the trip and never waste another dollar or minute. Stamps.com lets you print
That's terrific.
official postage right from your computer, so you can spend less time at the post office and more time running your business. The King of Stamps personally enjoys it because it saves so much time and money. Time and money I can use making the stamp crown. Did I steal this from an evil wizard? It also saves you stress. For more than 20 years, Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses. Stamps.com gives you access to all the post office and UPS shipping services you need right from your computer. And get discounts you can't
Alright.
find anywhere else, like up to 40% off USPS rates and 76% off UPS. Onward, my stamp minions! They look like stamps. Whether you're in office sending invoices, a side hustle Etsy shop, or a full-blown warehouse shipping out orders, Stamps.com will make your life easier. All you need is your computer and standard printer. No special supplies or equipment. You're up and running in minutes, printing official postage for any letter, any package, anywhere you want to send. I knight you, Stamps.com user. Serve, Stamps.com user, knight. Save time and money this year with Stamps.com. In fact, you can sign up at Stamps.com/nostalgia for a special offer that includes a 4-week free trial, free postage, and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. That's Stamps.com/nostalgia for your special offer that includes a 4-week free trial, free postage, and a digital scale. The king of stamps has spoken. The Stamps.com king, whatever I said my name was. I am he! Away ye, though thou! This thing doesn't need tricks. You know, we spin around after it goes around. Like, that's kind of neat. They didn't need to do that. They did that. Stop! Go now!
Do it now!
So I'll just say what everyone else is thinking, or should be thinking upon seeing this. Ewan McGregor should have played the Joker.
Really?
I'll be honest, I don't know much about the comic book villain Black Mask, so I can't say whether or not this is a good portrayal of him. But what I can say is this character in the movie is funny, threatening, and downright terrifying. One minute he can be bragging about some lame work of art he's got, the next he's literally peeling a family's faces off. Even then, he can show mercy to one of them, but then he sees a snot bubble from her crying.
Is that a snot bubble? Ew, gross. Oh, I've changed my mind. Peel it off.
Fuck.
Messed up.
Maybe the most uncomfortable moment doesn't even involve any violence.
Yeah.
He just doesn't like this one woman's laugh, and so he forces her to stand in front of his club and dance. He even has her boyfriend rip off her dress while she keeps dancing.
That's really mean.
It's both a little funny, but super disturbing at the same time.
Yeah.
Also, in so many movies, a person's original accent slipping through can be distracting, but McGregor's half American, half English accent strangely adds to his almost dual personality.
Nice.
Why doesn't this crossbow guy know that? You know that. I know it. Why don't I own the crossbow gun?
You should own it.
I mean, I like crossbows.
Sometimes he's a goofball, like a fun guy you like to be in the same room with, but in a millisecond, he can turn into the last person you'll ever see in your life.
And then I'm gonna peel off that pretty face and pickle it. Okay?
When he needs to be funny, he's legit funny. When he needs to be scary, he's legit scary.
You wouldn't betray me, would you?
I was just gonna go look for the girl.
Oh, no. I want you to stay here with me. I want you to stay here with me close.
If this was the Joker we got in Suicide Squad, I think we would have gotten a lot more movies focusing on Harley and his relationship.
Whoa,
Perhaps.
What?
wait. Don't kill me.
Ah, right.
Even with such big personalities as the antagonist and protagonist, though, the film does still give attention to its title.
Wait a minute.
Ish
I think
character.
I recognize that guy. Is that who I
The
think it
antagonist
is?
and protagonist.
Is he from Future Man, that Hulu show? I actually watched all 3 seasons of Future Man. That show is crazy.
So
I don't
the
think
film
it's
does
him,
still
though.
give attention to its title-ish characters. It's nice not only seeing some love given to Renee Montoya in a DC movie, but
Yeah.
also Rosie Perez.
Rosie
For a while,
Perez.
she was seen as a comedic loudmouth through most of the 90s, but
Yeah.
I remember seeing her in some really dramatic work and knew she could pull off some decent performances. And I think she really nails Montoya as an older yet still badass cop, but also giving into her corny side with her forced one-liners.
Harley Quinn just called open season on herself.
Black Canary is also pretty good, trying to play both sides in order to get what she's truly looking for. And Huntress has a good backstory, but she's introduced a little too late to give her much of a character. Her only personality traits is that she wants revenge and doesn't know what to call herself.
Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
I guess that's not bad, but it doesn't really stand out either. The same can be said a little bit for Cassandra. Both these parts are acted well, but the script doesn't give them a ton to go off of. I like them fine, but if I was just to read their dialogue, I wouldn't know too much about their personalities. Just what they want and how they're getting it. Which is important, but it's not the complete package. I mean, I guess one day Cassandra Cain becomes Batgirl. Shit, I want future Batgirl to be as developed as Montoya is. But with the movie already juggling so much, it's not surprising some characters had to get cut down. I was
Yeah.
actually shocked to discover this movie's not even 2 hours long. It's an hour 48.
Okay.
Good God, they squeezed a lot into this for that amount of time.
No
And even
kidding.
with so much thrown in, the film visually still looks pretty badass. Everything from the club to the abandoned funhouse to even the end credits has a grotesque, surreal, twisted look that again feeds into the dark spontaneity of its main lead and main villain. The movie looks really friggin' awesome and has no problem being loud and colorful, but also sick and gray a moment later, or even both at the same time. The action in this movie is also creatively wild. If you were to ask me where the fight scenes in Batman v Superman took place, I'd say, I don't know, abandoned buildings, and some not abandoned buildings. They're all forgettable. Here, I remember the break into the police station, the fight in the evidence locker, the climax in the funhouse, the chase at the marketplace, the car chase on rollerblades. These aren't groundbreaking fights or anything, but they're all thinking a little outside the box.
That's cool.
They're not trying to be epic and huge, they're just weird and fun, but also clearly putting a lot of thought into their choreography.
Yeah, it's cool,
It should also be pointed out that in the DCEU, this is the first R rating. With that said, the movie is smart enough to know how to use it. In that face-peeling scene, it would have been really easy to go over the top with the gore, but I think just putting the knife to the throat and showing the peeled face is all you need. If it did more, it would have taken away from McGregor's
By the way, that said, I don't know what YouTube will let me show anymore.
performance, which is what's the most terrifying about this scene. Just putting the knife to the throat and showing the peeled face is all you need. If it did more, it would have taken away from McGregor's performance, which is what's the most terrifying about this scene.
I bet,
A lot of people have said it was probably rated this way to cash in on the success of Deadpool, and while that wouldn't be the first thing that pops in my head, it wouldn't surprise me either. Even the comedic scatterbrain narration has a little bit of that feel. But I really don't think this is just a female version of Deadpool. It really is a Harley Quinn plus Friends movie.
Okay.
Honestly, as much as I and a lot of other people have picked on the DCEU, there are several things they've done before the MCU.
Of course.
They got a female-led superhero movie first, they got a film about the villains first, they swallowed their pride and did a take two of a giant movie first. And while yes, a part of me does want to see a movie where more of Harley's tragic side is addressed, I'm not sure that's where we're at with this character right now. People forget she's only had 3 movies, and only once has she been the main character. And even that's debatable. For her second film in the spotlight, I think it makes sense just to have her in a crazy-ass scenario because that's what drew us to her in the first place.
Of course, yeah.
Especially after seeing her in Suicide Squad, a film that a lot of people didn't like, I think it is important for people to know this character can hold her own flick.
Yeah, I
On that
agree.
point, I will admit, I don't think this movie's for everyone. Some people just can't get into Harley Quinn, and some of the randomness in tone, pacing, and humor can throw a lot of folks off. But I will say if you saw this movie like I did and it didn't particularly grab you, give it another shot.
Okay.
It doesn't get deeper or have any secret meanings, it's quite the opposite. It gets a little weirder, crazier, and even dumber. But in a way I think that's mostly intentional. If you go in aware what you're going to get and you just enjoy the insanity of it, you might have a twisted, mean-spirited good time. I don't want to say this is a turn your brain off movie because that's usually the excuse actors give when they know they're promoting shit, but it is one that gets better if you watch it in an odd mood. If you do so, it's surprisingly enjoyable how all over the place it is, how disturbingly harsh it can get, yet still how little it all adds up to. It doesn't quite add to nothing to think about, like I said, it's not Big Lebowski, but it still adds up to very little, and again, I think that's intentional. If you're ever on the cusp of being ready to laugh, but also ready to punch the world in its idiot face, this weirdly might be the film to check out.
Awesome.
Give it a watch and see all the what the fuckness you've been missing out on. I'm a Nostalgia Critic guy, remember? So you don't have to.
Why don't I own the crossbow guy?
You should own
I mean, I like crossbows.
I like crossbows.
Hey, Doug Walker here, doing a charity shout out, and this week it was another recommendation, so thank you so much for that. This is the Double H Ranch, and the mission of the Double H Ranch is to provide specialized programs and year-round support for children and their families dealing with life-threatening illnesses. Their purpose is to enrich their lives and provide camp experiences that are memorable, exciting, fun, empowering, physically safe, and medically sound. All programs are free of charge. Since 1993, it has served over 60,000 children dealing with life-threatening illnesses from around the world. It was the second hole-in-the-wall camp in what has become a worldwide network of not-for-profit recreational and therapeutic experiences for children with serious illnesses. So as you can see, this is a very good organization doing some really good work. If you can donate to it, fantastic. If you're not able to, just spread the word. As always, there's so many people doing so many good things, and the more attention we can get on, the better, man. So that's about it. Please check them out, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
All right. Well, that was quite a blast to watch. I'm really glad I saw that a review. That gives me a perspective on a film that I was actually curious about when it came out, but just never got around to seeing it. Um, Judging by that review, I would love to see it sometime. Um, it looks like a lot of fun. Looks awesome. Pretty clearly, it has its problems, but uh, I can't help it when I see goofy stuff like Harley Quinn obsessing over a breakfast sandwich that she wanted to eat and she can't have anymore, and she's like crying like it. That it's just I love seeing crazy shit like that put on film. It's kind of like Roger from American Dad. He obsesses over the most weirdest things when he's in character, when he's being one of the characters he likes to dress up as. Um, I don't know. Have any of you seen the Birds of Prey movie? Let me know in the comments below. Did you guys like that movie? Did you guys not like the movie? I'm almost done, sweetheart. I assure you. Okay. Lovely. Doubly lovely. All right. Okay. Babe, just close the door. Uh, yes. Penis. I know, yeah. Rogelio is hilarious. All right, babe. Anyways, what did you guys actually think of Birds of Prey? Did you enjoy the movie? Did you guys even see the movie? I know it didn't perform too well at the box office, and that was before the pandemic, like a little before it. I love you, babe. uh, um, you can't blame the pandemic for how it performed because it was before the pandemic when it was released in theaters. For Wonder Woman 1984, you can blame the pandemic because that came out in December 2020 or something like that. So, yeah, that's underperformed probably because of the pandemic. Let's be honest, with how people loved Wonder Woman, it's pretty obvious that another Wonder Woman film, if there was no pandemic, it would have performed amazingly. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if it made like $1 billion. But because of the pandemic was still in full swing and movie theaters were not completely there, I mean, you could still go see it in theater. I was up in Idaho visiting family, and I saw that movie in theaters, but you were required to order tickets in advance, and so you can pre-order where you're going to sit, and then allow so that they can do the social distancing in the theater, um, which they're doing here in California now. Which actually they've been doing that since 2020 here in California since 2021, I think, or maybe late 2020. I don't know, but yeah. If you haven't seen Birds of Prey, that doesn't surprise me either. It is not one of the best performing DCEU films, and it probably is like what Nostalgia Critic said. Um, it probably had a lot to do with the marketing of the film. They had difficulty trying to market it. It wasn't marketed all that well. I don't even remember that much about the marketing. Like, I hardly remember a thing about it, honestly. Um, but to be fair, let's be honest, I'm certain it was still marketed better than the predecessor to the Nintendo Switch. Remember that console, the Wii U? Not the Wii. That thing sold really well, over 100 million units, and it dominated the Xbox 360 and the PS3. I'm talking about its successor, the Wii U, which is the predecessor to the Switch. The Wii U, at least, was marketed worse than that movie. Let's be honest. That there were rarely ads for that, even though it was Nintendo's newest home console for like 5 years. Anyway, um, Oh, no, I just couldn't help myself with that one. And no, I'm not a hater of the Wii U. I actually have a Wii U, although it's in my storage right now. I haven't used it in quite some time. I've primarily just used the Switch or my PC for gaming, which, by the way, I do plan to do some more live streaming in the near future. I actually did do a live stream of Pokemon Go from my phone earlier this week on Monday. I plan to do another live stream soon, maybe on Monday again, actually. Um, I don't know if it'll be my phone. I would prefer to do a live stream on my PC, but I can't be completely certain whether it's going to stay connected when I'm using a temporary internet. I'm using something I rented for free from the library called a wireless hotspot. It's this little device that when you turn it on, it gives you Wi-Fi. It brings out Wi-Fi and enter the password, you log into the Wi-Fi. It's really a temporary solution. Don't get me wrong, it works well. We can watch Hulu and YouTube on the Switch, no problem. Use the computers, no problem. But with this laptop, it's from 2017, sometimes it disconnects from it out of the blue. Um, so if I did that during a live stream, that could be a problem. But like I said, there's a little more financial stability now, so I'll probably be getting a permanent internet soon. Most likely the Xfinity from Comcast. Maybe if they're available, the Sonic Net fiber optics. Sonic Net started in this area in Sonoma County and is expanding to other parts of the U.S. They have it down in San Jose now. Anyways, I'm obviously way off topic, but and yeah, if AT&T U versus has a good internet, maybe, but most likely it's going to be the Comcast one. But anyway, um, look forward to some more live streams. They really do help with the watch time, honestly, since I do them for longer periods, and there are some fans who always watch them. But also stay tuned for some original stuff. I actually have some top 10s that are coming out. I already have typed up some ideas for the top 10s. I have plans for tier lists, actually. Ones I've been thinking about for a while that I'm going to post. And ones that are Super Smash Bros. Related, ones that are YouTube related, ones that are related to, like, um, a variety of subjects. Um, so stay tuned for that. And also stay tuned for some more React videos. I'm still going to make them. Um, I think the upload of this React video to Nostalgia Critic should give away that yes, I will try to regularly upload React videos to Nostalgia Critic like I should have done in the first place. My first two React videos in Nostalgia Critic performed pretty well when I reacted to him reviewing Krampus in 2020. Did pretty good for my standards. Reacted to him reviewing Mulan, the live action Mulan in 2021. Performed. It's one of my better performing React videos, and it's good for the watch time, good for the algorithm. So I'll keep going with that. So please continue to check out my channel. Look forward to some more Nostalgia Critic React videos. I can't guarantee I'll react to all of them, but you know. And as I've stated, I will do my react to Scott the Woz video, the one from Christmas Eve about the gifts of gaming. I've been meaning to, I just haven't gotten around to it. I intend to record that no later than next week. I could do it this week. There's still potential for that, but I still have to go out to work and do other things in my life besides recording reacts and work. Spend time with the wife, all the stuff I gotta do. But I do intend to get it done no later than next week. Maybe I'll have it done this week. So stay tuned for that. But now? What did you actually think about the Nostalgia Critic episode? It was definitely, to me, it was a more subtle, like a more calm episode. Like it was almost like a filler one because you didn't see the other characters, Malcolm and the was it Lindsay? No, not Lindsay. I forget her name, but you didn't see either of them. In fact, it didn't even include that intro you usually get. I think it was more like a fill in the time episode, which is why it was only 18 minutes long and didn't have any skits. But I liked it. It was straight to the point, just straight to doing the movie review, just talking about the movie, um, and it worked, I think. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell icon to add me notifications. Look forward to some more React videos and some, yes, I do plan to have some original content, and I do plan to make some collaborations with other YouTubers as well. Thank you so much.